don't find myself particularly interesting.
Welcome back to the Media Circus, the game show about the news game. And no, we're not going to be trawling through the coverage of the Paris terror attacks. The media actually did a pretty good job covering a very traumatic breaking story. Some even went above and beyond the call. I mean, Channel 7's Mark Riley even managed to get from Washington, D.C. to Turkey in just 5 minutes. That's amazing. Only to be outdone by journalist Hugh Whitfield, who reported from Paris, London and Washington, D.C. all at once. But never fear, because there's plenty of other news that we can look at this week. So please welcome our guests on the Media Circus tonight, Greens leader Richard Di Natale. G'day. From Story Club and Radio National Summer School, Mark Sutton. And stand-up comedian, sometimes known as Dave, but also known as Zoe Coombs-Marr. And they're up against the star of Ricketts Lane, Randy. From The Chaser, Andrew Hansen. And journalist and media consultant, Anne Forward.
Thank you very much.
And look, Anne, it is good to know that even 25 years ago, that news was just made up of puns and cross-promotion.
Finally, there's one star of the Channel 10 series Neighbours who's dogged by publicity wherever he goes. Resident Ramsay Street canine, Bouncer, tried to slip unnoticed into Sydney for a quiet weekend, but, well, he was hounded by adoring fans.
How did that get the exclusive story?
Dogs and The Chaser.
Yeah. Oh, let's not go there. Legal team's watching. And now to the teams this week. Mark, Zoe and Richard, your team shortened. So we had to choose something that can defeat Bill Shorten, and there's so much to choose from, pretty much anything, except the Greens, of course. But look, this week he was defeated by a cup of coffee. So Randy, Andrew and Anne, you are Team Coffee.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
And as always, the Media Circus is under the watchful eye of our fact-checker, Chaz Licciardello.
Craig. Now, Craig, accuracy is important when you're on the world stage. So this week I've been fact-checking the Prime Minister.
Australia and Germany have always had good relations.
Thank you, Chaz. And now let's play the news game.
Stitch Up.
First up, of course, it's Stitch Up. Both teams play in turns. Teams, can you identify the 4 news stories we've stitched together from this week's news? Here is your Stitch Up.
Barack Obama and Vladimir Putin have
packed Etihad Stadium to witness
federal opposition leader Bill Shorten
eating too much chocolate.
All right, Team Coffee, what was the first story there?
That was me buying you some time.
Thanks. Now that you've given me time to think about it...
You got it?
It was Obama and Putin having an important meeting this week.
They did. They talked about stuff, and it was good.
That is right. Obama and Putin finally got together in the hotel lobby at the G20 in Turkey to discuss Syria, although the real star of the meeting has become this guy here, a spy, who was so bad that even the Russian news network RT played Pink Panther music over him when they showed him. Where are they? Just standing, you know. Yes, Chaz.
Craig, that spy was not the star. The star of the G20 was Turnbull, because Obama finally invited him for a sleepover, and Turnbull could scarcely believe it.
One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to announce that I'm inviting you to Washington. Sorry? I'm going to say that I'm inviting you to Washington. If you're going to invite you to Washington. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Instead of approaching the Prime Minister to visit Washington sometime soon, these are great, so we're going to be able to set up a time. Unfortunately, I'll probably...
I thought he handled that quite well.
He's got such a good poker face, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He was probably quite unimpressed because the White House is still smaller than his house, so...
There was some sort of clincher just as they sat down. Like Malcolm must have done something really delightful just as he nestled in.
I think that was not being Tony Abbott.
Yeah.
It was delightful. It's not Abbott.
Maybe the whole 90-minute meeting was just Obama blanking out and going like, oh, when am I going to ask him?
Putin's like, I think he likes you.
All right, Team Shorten, your turn now. What was the second story?
I think this has to be the shock defeat of Ronda Rousey, who I'd never heard of until this weekend, but now she's the biggest thing in the world.
That is right. Let's have a look.
Well, a record crowd of 56,000 has packed Etihad Stadium to witness the shock knockout loss of previously undefeated UFC champion Ronda Rousey.
Right in the neck.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. She's kind of presented as somebody who broke the glass ceiling of UFC and then broke her jaw. But what did you think?
Well, her husband was sitting in the crowd cheering her on, and, you know, this is their equal opportunity for women. No, we can cage fight too, you know.
It's the first time the excuse she was asking for it was actually valid because she... Too much? Too soon? Well, she was. I mean, she knew what was going to... What did you think was going to happen? There's this whole outrage. Oh, my God, she got kicked in the head. That's her job, people.
I know, and look what she's wearing.
I know.
Look, it was either Etihad Stadium or Melbourne's traditional fighting venue, the number 86 tram. All right, Team Coffee, your turn again. Let's just recap the third story.
Federal opposition leader Bill Shorten.
Why would he be in the news?
Well, he's gone back to do his driver's licence test again, perhaps.
Close. What happened to him?
He was...
Oh,
you go.
no, go on.
No, come on, you used to read the news. Didn't he spill a coffee on his lap and crash into some parked cars?
Let's have a look.
Federal opposition leader Bill Shorten has confirmed he crashed into a row of parked cars in a Carlton street last weekend after reportedly spilling a cup of coffee on his lap.
Apparently the coffee won the spill 30 votes to 25. That's how unpopular he is right now.
Carrying his coffee. At least he's not texting. He's not on his mobile phone. He's exemplary. He's doing the right thing.
Well, he doesn't have any friends.
Yes, it's Chaz.
Oh, Craig, Bill Shorten has had a terrible week, though. It's not just that. Also, he called this press conference to fight for cleaners' working conditions. So he got a whole bunch of cleaners behind him. And unfortunately for Bill, it turned out he was the one who cleaned the room.
I'm talking about the cleaners at Parliament House, but also the cleaners behind me are on the side of the middle class and people who go to work and people who are working hard to make ends meet. And as for the general welfare bill, we've got to be careful we don't have one of these sky is falling chicken little coalition arguments. Remember in 2014, they wanted you all just to believe they had...
He'd spilled some coffee and they had to go and clean it up.
All right, Team Shorten, here's the last story again.
After eating too much chocolate.
What's this story?
They finally done a new story about me.
I was going to make pretty much the same joke.
And I've got no idea what the chocolate story is.
No, let's have a look.
Disgraced entertainer Rolf Harris has been admitted to hospital after eating too much chocolate. He was taken from prison to the Ebola wing of the Royal State University Hospital.
Oh, dear.
Yes, apparently the Ebola wing is the only place he won't touch anyone. So well done. I think Team Coffee, you won that one. Chaz, have you got an award for them?
I do. It's a brief tour of early 90s hair fashions, courtesy of Anne Forward.
Thank you very much.
Hello again.
No.
I'm Anne Forward. 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 I'll see you here tomorrow.
The Encyclopedia of News. Royals.
Royals are not like the rest of us. For instance, Camilla's so sheltered she doesn't know how to use a bin.
One's napkin is dirty. What does one do? You just give it here, love, give it here. You pop it in there. That's called a bin.
She's never even used a toilet.
Look what you've gone and done, Camilla. Look what you've done on the ground.
Oh, is that mine?
Yes, we have flushing machines for this now.
Oh, it smells quite ghastly, doesn't it? It felt much smaller when I passed it.
That's why we need the news to help us understand what the royals are up to, which isn't much.
Queen feeds horse!
Her Majesty was offered the chance to help feed one of the unit's horses.
And wipes hand!
Forced to wipe a gloveless hand on her bright pink coat.
But when the royals aren't wiping their hand,
the news has no choice but to report on what they look like.
She was raising awareness of children's mental health, but it's her new look that's grabbing the headlines.
Sorry, children's mental health. Better luck next time.
Britain's gone wild about Prince Harry's new look. For his 31st birthday, he was sporting a ginger beard.
Ginger man grows ginger beard? Could this story get any bigger? Yes!
It appears Harry is sticking with his red beard. We don't know yet if his grandmother approves.
An even bigger scoop is what the royals may look like one day.
From his royal cuteness to handsome highness, what Prince George will look like in the future.
At age 7, 20, 40, and looking like a pedophile at 60.
I don't care what he looks like in the future. I want to know what he looks like now. As a cake.
An amateur baker in the UK has created a life-sized Prince George cake.
Just imagine how thrilling it is when these do-nothing royals come and do nothing in our country.
Charles and Camilla have started their Australian tour.
And they were fascinating.
I heard the Duchess of Cornwall mention how nice the weather was.
We learnt so much about them.
He was very royal.
But on royal tours, the biggest news isn't where they go, it's where they don't go.
At one end, there's Cottesloe, selected to host Prince Charles's birthday barbecue next month. 40 kilometres down the coast, residents in Rockingham want to know why their beach was overlooked.
What's wrong with coming to Rockingham? We've got everything that anyone could ever want.
I want locals who aren't deluded. Have you got that?
But if Charles and Camilla decide they want to kick on after the barbecue wraps up, then they can always head down the coast and have a few quiet ales at a Rockingham institution, Liquid Nightclub.
Of course. Forget Buckingham Palace. We need Rockingham Palace. The guards are already in training. One thing we all agree on, though, is the royals are perfect. And it's all because of one simple recipe.
Simply following the royal recipe for success.
It's as though by doing nothing, saying nothing, she said everything.
Not as good as this royal recipe.
And on the news board tonight, we have Britain's least popular Queen impersonator, Camilla Parker Bowles. This guy from Australia's official unwelcoming committee, Border Force. I think that's a Greens MP, probably Adam Band or something. An artificial Christmas tree, something equally artificial, warning. And finally, a leech for some reason. Teams take it in turn to pick a subject, but anyone can answer the questions by buzzing in. OK, Team Shorten, what's your pick?
Surprisingly, I like the look of Camilla.
All right, you've picked Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, who, as we found out this week, has another interesting title.
She's actually the Colonel-in-Chief of the Australian Military Police.
Typical Brits coming over here and stealing our jobs. And before you say that's just a ceremonial position, she actually has some very important duties.
So Camilla has the very important task of cutting the centenary cake.
Yes, Chaz.
You know, it's not only Camilla that's important, Craig. Charles is actually running the entire New Zealand Defence Force.
Charles was accorded 3 New Zealand military titles today: Admiral of the Fleet, Army Field Marshal and Air Force Marshal.
I think it might be time to invade New Zealand.
Yeah. Look, the royals are nothing if not trivial, so let's see if you know your royal trivia, OK? Which of these statements about the royals is not true? Firstly, that the Queen doesn't need a licence to drive. That Prince Charles holds a title in Tanzania which means helper of the cows. That the royals own all the dolphins in England. Or that Prince Philip is technically the head of the Australian Mint. Oh. What do you think?
Prince Philip's definitely technically one kind of head.
I reckon they're all true.
They wouldn't like him very much if he's helper of the cows.
How do you help a cow?
Does he milk
Watch out for the cattle grid.
It's true.
There's grass over there. No mooing in the morning. I don't know what you do to it.
It sounds sort of like the type of job that you give to a child who you want to keep out of your way.
Yeah.
Like, you can be the helper of the cows. And what the helper of the cows needs to do is be very quiet.
I don't know how he has time to help these cows. He's got to run the New Zealand Army as well. He must be exhausted.
Keep an eye on all the dolphins.
See, I reckon that's the one that's not, because I'm pretty sure she owns the swans, right? But the dolphins, I'm not so sure about.
Let's see how well you went. Prince Charles was named helper of the cows in Tanzania, although apparently it literally translates as he whom the cows love so much, they call for him when they're in times of distress. Which, to be fair, is a lot better than David Cameron's official title, of the pigs. The royals do own all the dolphins in English waters, as well as all the sturgeons and the whales. So Prince Charles isn't just Prince of Wales, he's also Prince of Sturgeons as well. And it is true that the Queen doesn't need a licence to drive, which is why she got such a bad Uber rating. Look at her.
So what does she do? Does she just, like, use the Queen Mum's old one when she goes to a nightclub, or what?
She carries around a coin.
Can she drive can she drive a Class 3 heavy vehicle?
Yes, Jez.
I'm glad the Queen doesn't have a driver's licence, Craig, because with this kind of habit, I think she'd lose it pretty fast.
The Queen enjoys a daily gin before lunch, wine with her meal, and a dry martini and a glass of champagne in the evening.
Oh my God, she's running a country piss.
Maybe Bill Shorten had the same problem driving his car.
Accusations. What is it? A few weeks ago, you're like, yeah, I'd like to be health minister in a Labor government. Now you're like, he's pissed. Seen his poll numbers, he's pissed, guys. Which means the false one is that Prince Philip is not the head of the Australian Mint. As they keep saying to him, just because your wife's face is on the coins doesn't mean you own it. All right, team Coffee, who do you want to pick from the board?
Oh, the hot guy there.
Which one?
That Di Natale guy.
Di Natale. Di Natale. Who recently did an interview with online news site BuzzFeed, where he had to answer every question with one word. Now, of course, anyone doing a one-word interview knows that you certainly wouldn't answer these questions by writing the words on a big piece of cardboard that could later be taken out of context on a TV show. You would have realised that, wouldn't you, Richard? Oh, no. You didn't realise that, but we did, which is why we're going to play Richard Di Natale Jeopardy. So just like the game show, I'm going to give you an answer that Richard actually wrote, and you have to guess the question. Here it is. What was the question?
What is 7 days?
Terrible. I thought you were supposed to be smart. What are the Greens' chances in the North Sydney by-election?
Ooh.
Yes, Richard.
What's the part of the candle you have to light with a match?
How do you like your coffee, Richard?
And your policies.
This was a rookie error, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. All right, look, the question that elicited weak as the answer was Bill Shorten.
Oh, was it really?
That was the question, was Bill Shorten.
Offence,
You wrote
Bill.
weak.
I didn't mean it.
OK, and what was the question that led to this answer?
What did you have for breakfast?
When you were studying medicine, who did you experiment on?
Look, no, that wasn't the question. This was the response to one of the big political questions of all time that BuzzFeed actually asked. Cats or dogs? Oh. The question Laurie Oakes has been too scared to ask for all these years. Richard, why did you do this kind of interview? Was it just a waste paper?
It was recycled.
Recycled, was it? It was somebody else's answer. Why do you do kind of BuzzFeed stuff?
Well, I mean, you know, politics is changing and you've got to engage with the various media like this.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You don't think you should do that kind of thing? Do you think it undermines politicians when they do that kind of stuff?
Well, politicians are very serious people. He's got to be very careful about how he's perceived in the community.
So he should leave this show right now?
Too late.
All right, Team Shorten, what is your pick?
Why don't we go with that startling... Is that a Christmas tree, I think? Let's go with that. My name's Di Natale, and Di Natale means Christmas, so let's go with that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it meant Christmas.
Yeah, of Christmas. I've got an auntie whose name's Mary, so she's Merry Christmas.
Oh, OK, you've picked what I think is meant to be a Christmas tree. It was erected this week by Hobart Council. How did the Lord Mayor describe this magnificent display? Yes.
Did he say, I like the Christmas tree decorations, but you've forgot the Christmas tree?
I think this is actually the birth of the Tasmanian space program.
Close. Did you describe it as almost vertical?
According to Hobart's mayor, it's a really modern and trendy addition in a fairly funky area. And the Deputy Lord Mayor said it's very, very Mona.
Right.
I presume he means this Mona. It's like, it's worse than being rickrolled. Can we stop that, please? Bonus question, how much do you think it cost?
Hobart's dignity.
I actually know this. It cost $35,000.
Yes, you are right. It came in at a steal at 35 grand. Now, this is either because there's been a sudden world shortage in plywood and fairy lights, or maybe, and just maybe, because something to do with the fact that the town's councilmen and women designed and made this piece of artistic perfection themselves.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's some money's gone missing there. Are they being managed by the same people as Tropfest?
Richard, can we agree that this is one tree that the Tasmanian Greens do want to cut down? Okay?
Absolutely. I'll take a chainsaw to that, no problem.
We'll be using that quote out of context in the next election. All right, OK, let's go back to the board of the news. What's your pick?
Well, I'm in politics, so let's go with leeches.
You've chosen the leeches, and no, this isn't another question about the royal family. This one's about natural therapies. This week, the Health Department released a report about natural therapies that currently get the private health rebate. So which natural therapy did the report find has good evidence of clinical effectiveness? Here's a list. Buteyko, Bowen, homeopathy or yoga?
I think it's Buteyko, because I haven't heard of it, so therefore it might not be shit.
I would say yoga.
Can you do yoga, Randy?
I back yoga.
Yeah, I love yoga. I'm all about downward-facing dogging and doing this one. I can do this too.
Can you do the lotus? Can you do the lotus position?
I can do this too. Hang on.
No, none of the therapies have clear evidence of effectiveness. While Bowen therapy hasn't been proved to work, if you can't sleep, this Bowen can be very effective. It can lead to depression. But how well do you know your natural therapies? First up, what natural therapy is this a tutorial for?
And now tilt and come back.
But it's obviously, it hasn't worked very well on the guy on the right.
Pass.
Unless it's a weight loss technique.
Oh, is it dealing with bereavement?
That was actually Feldenkrais, the Feldenkrais method that claims to use training and gentle touch to improve movement and breathing. Has anyone tried that?
I don't believe so, no. No.
Yep, have now.
No.
I've tried movement and breathing. So.
Let's all do it together. Ready? Tilt on three. 1, 2, 3 to the left. And we come back.
Put that on YouTube.
None of us are skeletons yet.
I feel fantastic. I feel $1 million.
Yeah. All right, let's move to our next natural therapy.
In 1975, I met a Rolfing practitioner and I received the Rolfing 10-session series from her.
Who can give me a demonstration of the techniques of Rolfing?
All right, come on, Andrew.
So really, I need a wobble board. A wobble board, and then
You've clearly never Rolfed in your lives. Apparently, Rolfing is a system of hands-on manipulation and movement education that claims to organise the body in gravity.
Yeah.
Here is a sample from the experts.
You have to be a little careful here because it can be really tender.
And if you're looking for a therapy to ease the memory of that from your lives, I recommend drinking. Well, where do you stand on this, Richard? Because on one hand, you're a medical doctor, but on the other hand, you're a Green, so you have to support all this kind of hippie shit.
Oh, well, I think, you know, I think people have the right to go and see whoever they like if they think it's going to help them get better.
But do you think that they should get funded by the government if there's no proof?
I think funding needs to be based on evidence, and there's a saying that about what do you call alternative medicine that's proven? That's medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard, you better watch out with these kinds of answers because let me tell you, Malcolm Turnbull is charming Greens voters right from under your nose.
You have the most handsome beard.
Watch out. He's coming.
Look at him, he's just full of sexual confidence because Barack invited him over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look, so at the end of that round, the winner is Team Shorten, ladies and gentlemen.
News School, Lesson 30. Most news is sad. So try to end your bulletin with a happy story about a cute, fluffy animal. Channel 9, you go first.
Well, 2 giant pandas have been captured frolicking.
Good work. Channel 10.
4 rare white lion cubs are generating plenty of oohs and ahs around the world.
You get an A for adorable. SBS, show me your happy animal story.
Well, an English bulldog who set a Guinness World Record as the fastest skateboarding canine has unfortunately died.
The fluffy animal's not supposed to die, SBS. You sick little weirdo.
Doctor in the house.
Yes, this week on the show we have an actual honest-to-goodness doctor on the panel. But come on, it's 2015. I mean, you don't need to be a doctor for medical advice nowadays. You can get it all from the news. But how up-to-date are you with the latest medical science? Buzz in, doctors. What is your diagnosis here?
This morning, an alarming new study that looked at over a decade of data shows there may be more peril in pizza than you might think.
What is the alarming fact about eating pizza that this story revealed?
Those range of toppings. It's a crime against food, I think. Pineapple, barbecue sauce.
You're against that?
Absolutely. I'm introducing legislation when we get back to Parliament.
Yeah, that's a radical position to take.
Actually, the hidden peril in pizza is it's those hot dogs that they now hide in the crust of the pizza. That is a peril. That is a peril.
Yeah. Is it like a Halloween thing where someone's taken inspiration from the stuffed crusts and have stuffed it with glass and razors?
Yeah.
Which maybe turns out to be healthier than the hot dog one.
High fibre.
It's not that, but that's a great and sadistic idea.
I don't know who'd do that.
No, the actual answer is this.
It plays a major role in kids' intake of calories and weight gain.
No.
I don't think that calories are a hidden peril in pizza.
Actually, speaking as a doctor, was that a good news story?
That was just a dumb news story.
Yes,
Craig, I don't even think it was a true news story. I mean, I've actually got evidence that eating pizza actually makes you lose weight.
How eating junk food can shrink the size of your brain.
There you go.
All right, let's try again. According to the Journal of Neurology, Neurosurgery and Psychiatry, skinny jeans are bad for your health. Why?
They actually have much more sugar than full-fat jeans.
Because you're more likely to get your beard caught in an espresso machine.
There's nothing wrong with skinny jeans. A lot of Greens voters wear skinny jeans.
All right, no, apparently squatting in skinny jeans can cause bilateral peroneal and tibial neuropathies and rhabdomyolysis, I think, which I presume is Latin for squashed nuts. How did I go on saying those? Was I close?
Not good.
Not good. Damn. All right, now this one actually applied to me.
And if you suddenly find this funny, there's bad news. You may have...
You may have what?
Being born before 1950?
I'm worried because I genuinely find that hilarious.
Yeah, what is it? Is it Lyme's disease?
Oh, no.
I hope it's not Lyme's disease.
I've got Lyme's disease. What's the cure for Lyme's disease?
Eat lemons.
Gin and tonic. Worst doctor in the world.
I'm starting to think he's not a real doctor at all.
I think I know the answer to this.
What is it?
Isn't it dementia? I think that's the real answer to this.
Dementia.
Which is
Let's
scary.
have a look at the answer.
Researchers at the University College of London found people who have a sudden liking for Benny Hill-style humour may be showing the early signs of dementia.
And people who like Chaser-style humour have late-stage dementia.
That's right. When you were a newsreader, could you get a medical degree from all the health stories you used to do?
Sure, I could pronounce hepatitis and poliomyelitis and What else can I think of?
What about that rhabdo one that he couldn't do?
Yeah, what about one I couldn't do?
Put it back up there and we'll have a crack on the auto cue.
I know, it's on this piece of paper because I wrote it down because I knew I wouldn't be able to say it. And I still didn't get it right.
Rhabdomyolysis.
Oh, there we are.
But it has an H at the front of it.
Yeah, it's silent.
A silent H?
It's like a hidden calorie.
I've got one thing to say to you. Rhabdomyolysis.
Myolysis. It's where your muscles basically dissolve and turn to liquid. I suspect most people who wear skinny jeans are okay, but
Tell me,
it's
doctor.
common marathon runners, all the pounding and stuff.
Well, we shouldn't be running in skinny jeans.
Yes, Jazz.
Craig, why are you even trusting what Richard says? You can't trust doctors.
Don't fall in love with your doctor on a current affair.
See?
It's too late! Oh, that's going to get on the Bolt Report. That winner was Team Coffee, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. What's their reward, Chaz?
Your reward is the latest musical sensation.
The Pontiff has released his first album called Wake Up. Take a listen.
Wake up. Wake up.
The new black.
Grey is the new black. Colour is the new black.
Analog, it seems, is the new black.
Fit is the new black.
Small business is the new black.
Yeah, that's right, Koshi. SUV is the new black.
And black is back.
Photo finish.
And now to our final round, photo finish. See if you can answer these important questions. First up, what are Charles and Camilla saying to each other?
There's that awful man who stole Daddy's knighthood.
Hey, it's not working.
Randy buzzes, bro.
Oh, there-
Yes, Randy.
Did you hear he got invited to the White House?
It is extraordinary. His self-importance keeps the rain off.
All right, let's move on. Why is Bruce Scott wearing sunglasses in Parliament? Yes, Andrew.
That's to protect him from the sun shining out of Malcolm Turnbull's eyes.
Maybe he just looked at the Liberal Party and got blinded by the ride.
All right. What is Peter Dutton thinking? Yes, Richard.
Left foot, right.
Yes, Randy.
I didn't even want to be on the National Security Council.
If I eat a potato, does that make me a cannibal?
Okay. What is Vladimir Putin thinking? Yes, Richard.
It's hot in here. I can't wait to strip off and ride a horse topless.
I wish I hadn't executed my psychiatrist.
Stood up again. Worst Tinder date ever.
All right, no.
Can I just... Does it? It looks... Can I just do one?
Yeah.
Oh, Randy.
You reckon?
Seriously.
Why is Clive Palmer here? Yes.
He's waiting for the parliamentary forklift. It's just mean. Don't clap it. It's just mean.
All right, so what is Julie Bishop doing?
The pottery scene from Ghost.
Jedi mind trick. I had nothing to do with the Abbott knifing.
If your chief of staff was involved in a secret coup and you knew about it but denied it, clap your hands.
Well done, everyone, but we're out of time. And the real winner tonight is, of course, Team... Well, it can't be shortened. Team Coffee, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Join us next week on the Media Circus. Good night.